How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the team associated RivalMT10. Today we're going to be talking about owning this thing for a year, the things I've done to it, the upgrades, the bits that broke, to give you guys a bit of insight, especially if you're interested in buying one, what to expect and what you can change. So number one on the list that I'm going to talk about is the pinion. Okay, so there's been quite a few guys I've spoke to on Facebook who have had the same problem. The pinion comes off every now and then. I think it's something to do with the design of the motor shaft itself. The motor shaft sticks out quite a long way from on this motor, and the pinion is hanging actually quite a way from the motor itself, so it's actually hanging essentially like a weight on the end. This causes a bit of wobble on big landings, and I think that's what's happening. Pinion's coming off. It's also grinding the plastic spur that's in here, which is no good whatsoever. There is a way around it. The way around it I found was to put Loctite on the actual motor shaft itself, degrease everything beforehand, burn all the old residue off, bit of Loctite along the motor shaft. I found that's worked. It hasn't come off since. I did that about a month ago, and I take this truck everywhere, to be honest, so it's one of my little backup trucks to have fun with. When the 8Ss go down or the 6Ss go down, this is my little go-to. Number two, in regards to the motor again, this is the second motor I've actually put in it, the 3300 kV from Reedy. What happened to me was the motor shaft snapped. I think it may have had something to do again with the original problem of the pinion coming off, flopping around in the end of here, and it got caught up with the spur, and I think that is what snapped the motor shaft. Number three is the ESC, the stock ESC in this truck. It's the worst part of the truck if you ask me. It's only 60 amps. You can't change the settings on it. There's no punch button. You can't really do anything to it. This is an Armour BLX 100. A little bit more reliable, I found, as my old ESC died. It actually died, hence the exchange as well. So it was an upgrade, and because of it died. There's two advantages to having this ESC setup on this truck. One, it gives it a little bit more poke, but two, you can set the punch and set your brake values and everything else. You've got a little bit more control as you normally have. I didn't like the stock ESC. I thought it was literally was the worst part of the truck that came with it. Number four, the arms, the A arms. These are RPM arms. I've upgraded these. Guys, if you've got this truck, these stock arms, I left one on there, look, that's the stock, that's RPM. They're RPMs, especially the front. I found they always went, the stock ones. I mean, you could get Helion Avenge ones if you could find them still on the market to replace. They were meant to be slightly better composite, but these stock A-arms, nah, they're not really much good. One serious whack and they'll definitely snap at the hinge pin there, guaranteed. RPM, no problem. I haven't snapped one since I put them on. I'll tell you what, the arms are that good that when you do have a big accident, I found that the hinge pin was bending and taking the arm out, which is more ideal than buying a brand new set of A-arms. Yeah, so it was a case of just heating up the pin and hammering it back straight and then putting it back in. No problem since, so yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant upgrade for this truck. Number five is the bumper sets. The rear wheelie bar I'm going to include in this. Really wheelie bar snapped. I don't know how and why I did that. The lights went with it, so I ended up just pulling the cables out, which is a bit of a shame. I put on a new bumper and I haven't rewired the lights, obviously because of the problem with the back. I just left them off. But I did found that they do snap here at the bar here. They can snap there quite a lot, these bumper sets. And you'll find that these things can snap sometimes as well, these reinforcement. They go as well sometimes. So yeah, bumpers, I have changed a set of them in the last year. Skid plates, right, skid plates. This front skid plate here tends to sometimes break down here and over here. A bit of a common problem. Yeah, not really a lot I can do about it. What I did do was boil this when I got a new one and soaked it in WD-40 for 48 hours. Haven't had a problem since. So whether you guys believe in that or not, it's worked for that, it's worked for me, so I'm sticking with it. The wheels, yeah, the methods, they're not bad. They're not bad. I know other people do run other ones. I tried putting 14mm to 17mm hexes on, and I ran some Proline Badlands on discs that I have, and that was brilliant fun actually, but a lot of grip roll because it's an MT, it's not a truggy, it's not very squat, but still brilliant fun. Yeah, tyres, yeah, they're not bad. Still going pretty strong after a year. Like I said, a bit of glue, bit of attention every now and then, yeah, but yeah, generally they're fine. Right, let's talk about the shell. Come on, this needs talking about. Okay, so pretty much faded. I have a few splits up the front after a year. I did tape it inside, but I didn't do a very good job of it ages ago, to be honest. It's yeah, make sure you do a good job with it. If you're going to do tape, do Gorilla Tape at least, not duct tape. But you can see I've hot glued bits and bobs The back is where it takes the worst of it, I think. Most of the Rival MT10s that I've seen are pretty similar. They bust through eventually. A bit of Gorilla Tape either side can sort of help it. It's clinging on this shell. I do need a new one. But after a year of quite heavy bashing, or a year and a half of quite heavy bashing, it's not overly too bad. They're not really overly that expensive either to replace. Trigger bait sticker there. This is the XP120. This is the controller that comes stock with the Rival MT10. Yeah, it's cheap and cheerful. Does the job. Still working a year later. Absolutely no problems at all. Taking it out of the snow, the rain, all sorts, and it's still going strong. The shocks I've left as standard. As they come standard RTR, the shocks have got 40 weight shock oil in them. I don't really wind them down that far. They don't really need to be wound down that far. They're actually still pretty. She's a bit creaky. But she still works pucker. The actual shocks themselves are actually pretty strong. I've bent a few, I think, over the last year or so. No, the shocks I haven't really touched. They've been great. Front diff is 60k stock. The middle is 100k, and the rear, weirdly enough, is only 3k. So I upped that to 10k just to thicken it up a little bit. It was a bit too much of a wheelie machine for me, but it seems to be a little bit more squat. Sits down a little bit more now. I didn't really want to touch it too much. There's no point in trying to fix something that's not broken, in my opinion. Let's talk about the price. The price has gone up since I bought it. When I bought this rig, it was £230 in the UK, and it's now 300 on average. I think 289, like I said, so like 290 is the cheapest I've seen it for online. So it's obviously, like most cars, they've all gone up. Don't get me wrong, this is still absolute fantastic value for money, even for, you know, £300. It's a great basher. Great for kids to start learning. You can turn down on the power. But the thing about this truck, really, overall, after a year of owning it, it's still ticking all the boxes. I can give it to my nephew to run. He can run it all day long. Still really, really fast for a little 3S rig like this. It's great fun to throw about. I really would recommend it. I've said it in the other videos when we took it to the track. You know, it was just gobsmackingly fast. It was really great, very impressive actually for a monster truck. This is the Rival MT10 a year later. I'm still totally happy with it. Hopefully you guys will find any information that I've told you and you're thinking about changing any of them. Hopefully that's helped you out. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.